but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to Sim Racing Media. We are live here for the Icon All-Star Race. This is the Open. Liam Irving up in the booth with Alan Bergen. Alan, how you doing?
We are live in prime time here on a Sunday night, getting ready to get gridded up for 90 laps, 3 30-lap stages. I cannot wait to get this thing rocking and rolling, and neither can these drivers. It's going to be a little bit smaller of a field, but only the top 3 only the stage winners advance. So we're going to be watching that. It's going to be chaos, mayhem, and, well, chaos ensues.
Yeah, we've got 7 drivers that have put down a qualifying time. We'll see if Chris Camburn's able to get onto the track to get her started here. So the way that this is going to go is we've got 90 laps here, stage 30, or stage lap 30 and 60. The winner of those 2 stages will get to move on. After that, whoever's left, whoever wins the race, goes on to the All-Star race a little bit later on tonight. This guy's running Atlanta Motor Speedway, which is just a hair over 1.5 miles. Got that quad oval in the front, the old configuration. So these guys are going to be slipping and sliding, wearing down these tires pretty big. There's no fast repairs, only 50% of fuel allowed. Only 3 sets of tires in the pits too, so you're gonna have one chance to get tires that's not on a stage break. Track temp sits at 119. It is blazing hot out here. That being said, It is going to be a fun one. Well, let's go through your open starting lineup. Starting on the pole, Jake Rowell with Jeff Dillon, Kevin Bankert, Justin Bissonette, Mike Rennell, and Chris Camburn, and then Shane Cochran. Gonna round out the field. Jacob Glodulich here on race control. Kyle Diaz not able to make the start.
Well, Liam, as they bring these cars down the back straight away, here we go, getting ready for 30 laps here. It's winning you're in. So if you're Shane Cochran back there in 7th, you got to pass 6 cars. You know, and this could get spread out really, really quickly. But if you're Jeff Dillon there and that 52 Valvoline car, you got to get the jump on the 39 car and lead all 30 laps.
Well, you don't have to lead all 30. You just got to lead number 30. And this old surface, the extra horsepower, that's going to lead to a lot of slipping and sliding. As the green flag is out, the open is underway. Jake Rowell, problems already. Mike Rennell going around here on the front stretch. Trying to get it back in gear, get it moving.
Seven cars are going to stay green.
Chris Camburn looks like he's dragging on the ground a little bit. Shane Cochran gets a few at the start, but not the ideal start that he wanted. Jake Rowell going to take over the race lead early on. He's got about 0.2 of a second over Jeff Dillon. Chris Camburn comes into the pits. Sorry, they're out.
I was gonna say, as this race goes on, you're gonna see these guys hustle these cars around. They're gonna be searching for grip. This is the Atlanta that everybody likes. They like that old school. There's a lot of bumps in here. These guys are gonna be, you know, they say sim racing, Liam, is not a sport. Oh, you're just playing a video game. I tell you what, I get out of this seat of mine, and I am just pouring sweat. These guys are gonna be pouring sweat after 90 laps.
Yeah, and this is a very taxing racetrack. I know there's only 6 cars on the racetrack right now, 5 cars on the track for the time being, but it's really going to be a battle. It's really going to be a chess match. See these 2 different lines being used: high lane in second place, low lane in the lead. I'm personally a fan of that low lane here. I think it's my favorite. I seem to do well when I run the bottom side. But we look at Jeff Dillon running just a couple of lanes off the wall. This time around, he's going through the middle in turns 1 and 2. He's able to get himself a nice run coming up off of turn number 2.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing, too, you got to save them tires. Now, here comes Shane Cochran. All but catching an 8 car, Kevin Bankert there in that wonderful number 8. And Shane Cochran flying to SRM colors here this weekend for the All-Star event out of Collateral Damage Racing. And he's going to take your advice. It's like he's listening to you.
Well, Bankert's going to be able to get that run back up on the top side, but Shane moves back down to the bottom. Justin Bissonette in the 06, currently running in 3rd. 5 laps down. 25 to decide who's the first driver to get their ticket punched into the All-Star race tonight.
Yeah, Shane going to fall back in line. And right now we got a battle for the leader brewing there with Jeff Dillon and Jake Rowell. And, I mean, just 0.2 of a second is what is going to separate these guys. Look at Jeff Dillon pulling the power move on the outside.
What a drive up to the top there by the 52. He put it in gear. Said, all right, I'm taking this thing. Fighting back on the inside is that 39 of Roll. Able to stick with him down the back straightaway, but not really try to side draft this early in the race. See if Dillon can get another massive run here in turns 3 and 4. He puts the power down right there in the middle of the corner. He's able to get clear coming up off of turn number 4. New race leader, Jeff Dillon in the 52.
Yo, and here's the thing. Once the stage 1 ends and, if you're Jeff Dillon or Jack Ruel, you want to punch that ticket as early as possible because then you can relax a little bit. And then you're using the rest of this open as a test session to see what your car is going to be like when we get to the race.
That is definitely an option. This guy's coming through the front straightaway. 8 laps now complete in the top 4. All under a blanket. Top 5. Banker runs up the racetrack a little bit, and Shane Cochran still trying to work that bottom lane. Looks like Bissonette is starting to close in on Jake Rowell as well. Getting into turn number 3, he's right up next to that wall.
I like the line that they all moved up to the wall. Bissonette going to grab a little bit of it.
All right. Just give me 1 second here. I got to fix the audio. I do apologize about that.
Meanwhile, while he's doing that, Justin Bissonette, rather. Wow. Hello. I'm bad with names today.
We've only got 6 guys in here. We can't be tongue-tied right now.
Ugh. I gotta untie it. Right now, Justin Bissonette putting himself in that conversation for the 2nd position. Shane Cochran gonna take advantage of Kevin Bankert's misfortune, moving down there to the inside. Rowell. Here comes Shane Cochran. He's going to try to slide up in front of Bankert.
Not quite able to, but Bankert takes the wall down the front straightaway. It's going to cost him a little bit of time as Shane Cochran moves back down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to retake that position. Can he get clear coming up off of turn number 2? It's going to be close, but he just doesn't have all of the racetrack to use.
Yeah, he just needs to. Maybe you could apply something on the high side. Now, what worked for Jeff Dillon probably wouldn't work for Shane Cochran. But Justin Bissonette all over that 52 car. Dillon wants it, Dillon has it, and Bissonette wants it.
Well, get right next to the wall, going through turns 1 and 2. Pretty impressive stuff. You see these guys getting about as close as you can fit a sheet of paper in between the cars and the wall, and that's about it. Rowell trying to take 2nd place back from Bissonette. He's going to be able to do it.
Look at that slide.
Bissonette tries to cross him over. Down the front straightaway, moving down to the inside, getting into turn number 1. Jeff Dillon seeing these guys go side by side behind him. Got to be making him feel pretty good. Going to increase that gap potentially as they get really close down the back straightaway.
What a good run that these guys are having right now. Bissonette and Rowell just slugging it out here. And they're still catching Dillon.
It might be a situation where the guy in the lead is just trying to save a little bit more tire, but everybody running virtually that same line right up next to the wall. These tires are really starting to wear down now, and I'm surprised that everybody's still as close together as they are. Kevin Bankert's starting to close in on this top 3.
Bissonette still mired back there in that 3rd position. 15 laps to go. Here comes Jake Rowell. He's looking to get that lead back from Jeff Dillon. And he's going to the inside. Maybe he's found something. He's going to get loosey-goosey off of turn number 1. And he's got to be forced to stall back in line. But here comes Kevin Baker, Shane Cochran, mired all the way back to that 5th position, losing ground.
Shane's starting to fall back just a little bit. Bissonette trying to take second back from Roel. These top 3 have really been putting down pretty equal lap times, trading with 10th here and there, back and forth. Super fun to watch this 06 try to get down on the inside, but the outside going to prevail. Roel gets a little bit loose coming up off of turn number 2.
And that's going to allow Jeff Dillon to pull away just a little bit more. 14 laps to go here in stage number 1, or segment 1. We're going to call these segments tonight like they do in the real world here. Jeff Dillon continues to lead here. Here comes Justin Bissonette on the outside. And these guys are starting to get spread out just a little bit more. It's 0.2 of a second back to Jake Roel in that 39 car. And, here's the thing. This is the top 3 that I thought we were going to have right from the get-go. As Jeff Dillon running that cushion.
He gets up into the wall coming up off of turn number 4. 39 able to just drive right on by.
Remember, these cars are a lot tougher than everybody thinks. They can take a beating up there on the wall, but that car does not look happy now of Jeff Dillon, that 52 car.
No, as Justin now makes a move down to the inside. They're side by side for second place. Roel starting to drive away. He's got about 0.6 of a second. That's as big of a gap as we've seen anyone have all day. 52 able to get that run on the 6, or on the 06. Next to the wall once again.
Perhaps somebody had to take a lap and figure out there was something wrong with his car or not, and now he's back in it. Just getting after it here, and Jeff Dillon, 11 laps to go for Jake Roel to win stage number 1, to be the first driver to punch their ticket into the All-Star race, which you're going to see a little bit later on here on SRM. And Justin Bissonette, though, continues to run 3rd. He picked up 1 spot, and Shane Cochran I don't think that car is too happy. That 86 car he just loses so much time.
Yeah, I think he's going to be looking forward to coming in, getting a set of tires, and taking another stab at it with one less driver in front of him. Let's not forget about Mike Grinnell in the 55. He spun out on the initial start of this race. We did not go caution. He's pretty far back, but once this stage comes to an end, the segment comes to an end, he's going to be right back in the thick of things.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, he's out there just logging laps, learning about what this track's going to do. We're going to see some clouds, so partly cloudy skies here today. We're going to see clouds come in and out, and it's going to tighten the race car. It might loosen the race car, it might tighten the race car. But nonetheless, 8 laps to go, and it's all Jake Roel all day long. Here comes Kevin Baker on the inside, pulling the power move on Justin Bissonette.
Oh, a little bit of contact coming up off of 2. Well, yeah, he did take the inside of the 06. He was still pretty far up there. He's going to get right up to that rear quarter of the 06 once again, coming up off a turn.
Oh, he's going to get him loose. And my friend, that's what we call arrow loose. Yeah, with 7 to go.
Don't really get that a lot in these next-gen cars.
I mean, that's what I call when I get into somebody.
Definitely, yeah. And a track like this is a perfect place to be able to use that tool. It's just, with these cars and their diffusers underneath, it's tough to lift somebody's rear end off the ground. Six more times around. Jake Roel up to a 1.2 second lead. Jeff Dillon has 9/10 over Justin Bissonette. Kevin Bankert Just a couple tenths back behind Justin here. This is a battle for third place.
Yeah, definitely. Jake Roel has put the keys on the counter and he is checked out.
Five more. Let's see if Kevin can make that move up on the outside. Justin goes all the way to the bottom. Kevin gets a nice run down the back straightaway. He's able to close right into within a car length. Back up to the top here in 3 and 4.
I think what Kevin Banker's trying to do to Bissonette is crossing him over on the back straightaway. It's almost like he gets a run, but he wants to take him out. So he's having these forced to cross him over and go to the inside.
This time the 06 moves back up the racetrack. Jeff Dillon ran the bottom that time around. Didn't really seem to work too much in his favor. Banker trying to close in on this 06. Atlanta is so tough on these tires. I mean, these guys have fallen off over a second, almost a second and a half from where they were. And I know that doesn't really sound like a lot, but it is huge. And if it wasn't for these lap 30 segments, or these 30 lap segments, these guys would probably lose about 3 seconds before they came in and changed those tires out.
Yeah, definitely here. Jake Roel out to a 2-second lead. 2.14 actually over Jeff Dillon in a 52 car with 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks in the air. A little over 2 miles till Jacob Roel punches his ticket into the All-Star race. There's the eyeball test. Jake Roel has once again left the keys on the counter and he is checked out.
Yeah, he's had himself a pretty strong season. Hasn't been able to get himself into victory lane. But he's been doing pretty good. Got himself a pretty stout ride here for this Atlanta race. He's got Atlanta figured out. And it looks like he's going to be able to race his way into the All-Star race. Bissonette moves past Dillon for second. Dillon going to try to get him back as Jake Roel comes across and wins stage number 1. He's moving on. The caution is out here for the first time. Jake Roel going to be able to move on forward with his night. The rest of these boys going to have to figure out who the next 2 spots are going to go to.
Well, like you said, it's going to be one less car that Cochran's got to try to get around. Still a strong field here as, Jake Roel, wins stage number 1. Justin Bissonette will finish second, and Jeff Dillon will finish third in that first segment.
All right, so now the question is Jake going to stay on the track? Or is he going to pull it over? I mean, like you said, it's a good test session, but at the same time, he's not really racing for anything. If he were to win the stage, he wouldn't get anything. Second place would take his would take the spot. Although with how these 3 were racing each other on that last lap, I think we could set ourselves up for a pretty phenomenal couple of stages here.
Well, they're going to come down pit road. We're going to have all those questions answered here after they come off pit road. So, and it looks like we're all going to. Nope, he's going to put tires on it. Okay.
Kevin Bankert overshoots his box by a long way. He's going to have to back it up. Could cost him a ton of time. Jack drops there on the 06. He's going to win the race off pit road, and it looks like Jake Orwell is going to sit out the rest of the race.
Hey.
So we'll have Justin Bissonette, Jeff Dillon, Shane Cochran, Kevin Bankert, and Mike Grinnell. Going to round out your top 5 here in stage number 2.
All right, Liam, 30 more laps to decide our next driver who's going to get a spot in the All-Star.
Yeah, we got the lights off on the pace truck, so it'll be 26 laps until the end of the stage with these few caution laps that we've run. We're going to have 5 drivers ready to rock and roll, and well, we haven't had the chance to talk about Mike Grinnell very much today. Shane Cochran comes off the pits in 5th. He took an extended stop there.
Maybe get some damage and a drink of water, maybe? I don't know.
We top off on fuel.
That too.
Lights off on the Iracing.com pace truck. Justin Bissonette and Jeff Dillon make up row number 1. Mike Grinnell and Kevin Bankert will be row 2, followed by Shane Cochran. Pace truck makes that hard left turn. Green flag back in the air. A little bit of tire spin out of the 06, but he's able to get away to a couple of car length lead.
And there goes Mike Grinnell, who had a way better start to segment 2 than he did segment 1. He's going to be on the inside. And now this is going to be pretty even as Justin Bissonette is trying to get away to a half-second lead.
Everybody working that top side on these cold tires. Want to be careful on them, though. You don't want to get yourself loose. It's really easy to do on the first lap of fresh tires. Everybody clean and green and single filed out for now. Justin Bissonette takes over the lead as Jeff Dillon moves down to the bottom, try to take it away.
And here comes Jeff Dillon on the inside line. Justin Bissonette going to pull the power move, and he's going to be hung out to dry. There's a 4-car draft, and that's going to shuffle the field.
Side by side here, Shane Cochran on the outside of the 52. Jeff Dillon all the way to the back. Meanwhile, Kevin Bankert moves up to the front, trying to get to the rear bumper of Justin Bissonette in the race lead.
Kevin Bankert side by side, Goodyear to Goodyear. Off of turn number 2, he's going to slide up. Bissonette not going to try to cross him over this time. And everybody running that high line, it's going to be hard to make moves when everybody's running the same line.
Apologies for the delays, fellas. Was going through media credentialing, get my hard card, and got my way up into the booth finally.
Well, here we go. Nice to see you, Nathan.
Glad to be here. Good battle up here at the front right now.
Yeah, and Kevin Bankert, you know, continuing the lead here of lap 8 of 30. 7 laps into the history books we go.
What is something that you kind of notice here, Nathan, is we got Nathan Finnegan up in the booth with us hanging out for the rest of this All-Star Open, or at least for a time. What is something that jumps out at you that you've noticed watching these guys go? You know, I know it's a really small pack, but still running running in traffic with this extra horsepower at this old abrasive surface.
Yeah, I think how quickly everybody's kind of jumped to the top line. I mean, there's definitely speed to be had down wrapping the apron, but I think definitely, the short run speed is for sure up in the middle to higher grooves here at Old Atlanta. You're going to wear your stuff out really quick, though, and honestly, with these shorter sprint stages, in our All-Star qualifying open, I can see why guys are taking that advantage early.
Yeah, I talked at the beginning of the race how I figured kind of the Harvick line was going to be the way to go, and maybe it was for the first 3 to 5 laps, and after that everybody moved up to the top, and now here in stage number 2 we're seeing more of the same. Everybody just up to the top of the racetrack.
And I think seeing what the 06 is doing too, trying to just barely offset at least half a car width, if not more, ideally, to be able to get air on the front of that nose. Otherwise, it's just going to want to push even more. But, if he's able to just manage the right rear better than Banker, we could see a push later on here in the run.
Shane Cochran just moved his way up into 3rd place. Jeff Dillon into 4th. Mike Cornell back to 5th. Top 2 playing chess at 180 miles an hour.
Now, Nathan, what are you looking for watching these All-Star Open segments? What are going to be some things that you're looking for as these guys make their way around this Atlanta Speedway? What can you learn from watching these guys?
Yeah, I think with us adding a little bit of horsepower and more weight to the car this week, just to kind of switch things up and make things interesting for the All-Star weekend. Since it is an exhibition, it's a non-points race for us, and we see the 06 going to the bottom there, like we were talking about, trying to find a different lane, different groove to generate a run. Seeing how the pace kind of falls off over the course of the run, and see if it's going to be worthwhile running the top at the beginning of a fuel strategy run, or if it's going to make more sense to just wrap the bottom and save the right front as much as you can.
Definitely, as we're working lap number 13. No one running the bottom or running the hub, as we like to say in the dirt world. Justin Bissonette going to the inside of Kevin Banker. Can he make it work off of turn number 2? And Siri says no.
Jeff Dillon able to get back around Shane Cochran, puts him into 3rd place, and he's going to start trying to close in on these leaders. It's one of the faster cars in the first stage. Faded at the end, but got a couple less laps in this stage due to those caution laps that we ran. Maybe he's going to be able to hold on for these 26 laps.
That's what I'm wondering, in these front 2 battle, if they're the guys following behind the 52 and the 86, if they're just kind of maintaining their pace, saving their stuff, and then as the front 2 battle and they start pulling back towards these guys, and might pay dividends in the long run here.
16 laps to go here in segment number 2. Kevin Banker out to the lead here, but it's only by a 1/10 of a second, as here comes Justin Bissonette, who let his tires cool off. He's going to make that inside work, and that's going to be the power move there. Goodyear to Goodyear. They make contact. Oh, hang on to it, fellas.
Super close stuff, and if you remember, that's about as close as it was when Bankert made the move on Bissonette at the end of the last stage. This guy's running hard, and Jeff Dillon behind is loving it. He's been the fastest car on the racetrack these last 2 laps.
Now you see the 06 going to the bottom here, trying to see if he'd saved a little bit more right front than Banker did. And if he can get this thing to stick on a slider, I think he's going to just start driving away if he can get the clean air.
Cochran's starting to close in on this battle too. He's trying to slide up. Is Bissonette not able to get there? Run up on the outside going to prevail, and Bankert gets clear getting into turn number 3.
Kevin Bankert trying to get away. Bissonette all over Bankert like he owes him much money. Oh, hang on. We almost got to see one of those classic Atlanta slide jobs. Ooh, Bankert got to bounce off the wall.
Yeah, it looked like he touched the wall there. He's going to try to keep his nose up on the outside of the 06, but just not enough. As Jeff Dillon has caught these 2.
I wonder if Jeff Dillon can go to the outside and make that power move stick again, as Bankert running up there by the wall, and he's going to lose a spot to Jeff Dillon there.
Dylan's going to be able to get up there and take second place over Bankert. He's going straight to the bottom, going to try to take away the lead. He can get a 2 for 1. Not quite enough. Coming up off of turn number 2 to get side by side, but he has definitely established himself in the second position.
This is what you love about old Atlanta, right? Like the comers and goers and the tire strategy, and such a driver's racetrack where it's all about just managing lap after lap, your pace as much as you possibly can, optimizing what you can out of it while, keeping something on it for, 10, 20 laps down the road.
Oh, Jeff Dillon now trying to take the race lead. Gets a little bit, a hair pushed down to the left rear quarter.
Oh, hang on to her.
Yeah, Jeff Dillon got a little bit loose. Shane Cochran now trying to take third place away from Kevin Bankert.
06 loves to see that. Bought him a little bit more time, some more breathing room.
As we've got 10 laps to go here in the second stage.
Right now, Jeff Dillon's really got to make that move. And guys, I really want to point out, Jeff Dillon has my favorite paint scheme of the night.
Baker gets up into the wall, coming up off a 2. Cochran up to third.
To your point, Alan, how can he not be poetic and romantic about a Ford Valvoline scheme?
It is really tough. I mean, when I was little, I used to have one of those little, like, sit-on car things that you run around in.
Oh, yeah.
Colored just like that. Valvoline 6. It was awesome.
I mean, I just went back to 1994, 1995. I was a huge Mark Martin fan, and I'm a Jeff Dillon fan here tonight.
Got 8 laps to go here in the stage.
Yeah, the 06 just protecting that right rear as much as possible, because if he lets Dillon get there, I think it's over, and it's going to be a matter of if Dillon...
Oh, no! They both slide coming up off the corner. It was almost a synchronized spin coming up off of turn number 2.
Bissonette knows he's got to do everything he can to block Jeff Dillon, all while having precision driving, because if these two spin out, Shane Cochran is going to be right there at a 2.5. Now, for Shane Cochran, the sands of the hourglass are starting to run thin for him to get up into this battle with 7 to go.
It's so tough if you're the 52, right? Because it's you put 5, 6, 7 laps in and just building that momentum of trying to get up to his bumper, and then now to regain all that ground. And the 06 with a bobble there off of 4, and he's going to get a good run here down the front stretch.
And here comes Jeff Dillon making another run at the 06 car. This is the best battle on the racetrack with a half dozen left.
Tries to make that cut in the middle of the corner. It seems to be working for him as they come down the back straightaway. He does have a nose to the inside. Slides up the racetrack just a little bit in 3 and 4. Has to let up off of the throttle to keep it out of the 06, but trying to stay with him just enough to keep his nose together down the front straightaway. 5 laps to go.
If he dives the inside here, the 06 has got to pinch low. Because if he lets him clear here, it's over.
06 running a little bit lower than we've seen. Not quite a pinch, but he is going to be able to get clear coming up off of turn number 2. Jeff Dillon going to have to try again. Coming to 4 laps to go. He's going to have to work to set up this pass just right. Remember, you don't have to get clear of him. You just got to get your nose in front of his by the time you get across that finish line.
I mean, if Bissonette wins this one, Jeff Dillon's going to make him earn it, without a doubt. But, I got a feeling if this is what these last 4 laps are going to be like, we're going to see a photo finish for segment 2.
It is entirely possible. These guys just a couple tenths apart, a couple of car lengths apart. 3 laps to go this time around. Shane Cochran closing in. He's within a second of your race leader, now just over a second.
I think Justin's case here, just doing his best Denny Hamlin impression and mirror driving as much as possible to try to arrow wash the 52.
get that cut a little bit. He's going to have just a hair of a run down the back straightaway, but not quite enough to make anything happen. Through 3 and 4. See if he tries to change up his line at all to close in on that 06. He runs right next to the fence. Maybe a little bit too close as he goes down, gets loose. Loses a ton of time here to the race leader. Not sure if he got into the wall at all, but he's going to lose second place to Shane Cochran.
It's the tires where that bump off of 4 is deadly, as we just saw. You know, that it's tough if you're the 52 car, but you got to give it everything with this few laps remaining.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a free ticket to the All-Star race just in front of you. You got to go out there and get it. They'll come into the white flag here in stage number 2. Looks like it's going to be Justin Bissonette's. It's going to be his day. Is it going to be his night, though?
That's the thing we don't focus on enough, I don't think, with these All-Star weekends is, you know, all these guys are getting lap time. They're getting seat time for the main event here. You know, the 06 has already got that much more of a leg up on the rest of the field, even though he's qualifying his way in, but now having all that time in practice ahead of the rest of us.
Justin Bissonette takes home stage number 2 and punches his ticket into the All-Star race that you'll see here a little bit later on tonight.
Bissonette taking the win here in stage number 2. Shane Cochran finishes second, and rounding out your top 3 will be Jeff Dillon. Wow, that one was action-packed.
It certainly was, and now Shane Cochran is going to have the chance to... he's going to inherit the race lead if this 06 decides to pull it off. See if... Sounds like the 06 is going to bail on out of this one as well. Fantastic drive from Justin. Shane Cochran also working his way up into the top 3 and then the top 2 after Jeff Dillon got sideways.
Well, fellas, I appreciate you guys having me. I got to head back down to the garage here and get the 6 machine ready to go for the main event a little later tonight.
Awesome stuff, man. Thanks for jumping up in here, joining us, answering some questions, and best of luck. We'll see you out there.
Appreciate you guys. Take it easy.
So that'll leave us with 4 left on the racetrack. It'll be about 26 laps remaining in the race.
Yeah, we're going to see Bissonette jump on out of here and get ready for the All-Star race. There he goes to his pit stall. He's well, he's going to go relax and catch his breath. And then there were 3 rather.
Well, we still got 4.
Yeah, we got 4.
One more spot. You got a 1 in 4 chance of making it. Cochran going to try to win this race off the pits, but Jeff Dillon gets out in front.
All right, we're going to have 26 laps here to decide this one. Who's going to be the third and final driver to punch their way into tonight's All-Star here with Icon, brought to you by Tizio Designs.
You're going to have one more shot to race your way into the big show. Like Nathan had said, this is a really good opportunity for some of these guys to be getting this extra track time. Learning about what your car is going to do on these long runs. Learning about what traffic is going to do to you, dirty air. There is, I mean, yeah, it does stink to have to qualify your way into the All-Star, but there is going to be a definite advantage to having run this many laps.
Yeah, definitely. As we get ready to go 2 by 2 behind the Iracing.com pace car, is it going to be Grinnell? Is it going to be Jeff Dillon, Kevin Bankert, or is everybody going to pick, the 55 car, the 86 car? It's anybody's game right now, is where I'm getting at.
Absolutely is. We've seen all of these guys make passes on each other. I think these four are going to make it really competitive for this final spot, but unfortunately only one is going to be able to race their way in. There is the chance at the random draw to make it into the All-Star, but these guys don't want to have to rely on anything random. They want it to be in their control, in their power. And in 26 laps, we'll find out who gets it done. Green flag back in the air.
Jeff Dillon with the whole shot, 26 laps to go. And we're going to be 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Kevin Bankert to the outside.
Bankert trying to work that outside lane to take over the race lead, coming up off of 2. Shane Cochran loses a little bit of time there. Not a great restart up on the outside. Kevin Bankert, though, he has found some speed on this initial run.
Now the sense of urgency has picked up 25 laps to get into the All-Star. This is your last chance. You leave it all out on the racetrack, and if you're not winning this stage, you are hoping that the randomizer wheel is your friend.
I gotta wonder, is Bankert saving anything at this stage in the game? With 25 laps to go, we've still got a long way to go on tires. He's able to get out front. He's got a 7/10, now 8/10 of a second gap. I wouldn't be shocked if he puts down the fastest lap of the race right here.
Yeah, you can't put anything, you can't save anything. You got to go out there and actually, I hate to say it, but you got to qualify for 24 laps or 26 laps. As Shane Cochran is now falling all the way back to 4th. He's still got a long way to go. Anything can happen. "23 laps left to go here in this final segment. Lap 68, 67 laps in the history books. We are rocking and rolling our way to the end of the stage here. 23 laps to go. Shane Cochran trying to make a move, trying to get caught up to the 55 car of Mike Grinnell.
These next 3 aren't really letting each other go. Kevin Bankert is out to about a second, 1.2 seconds of a lead, and I'm just wondering, is he going to start falling back to these drivers?
I don't think he is. I think he's going to keep laying it out there. He's going to put that lead. He's going to pad it as much as he can. So that way he can start, once he gets that lead padded a little bit more, he can start, slowing that race pace down just a little bit. But he's still putting it on him. 1 second is the margin back to Jeff Dillon in that 52 car.
Well, that time by, Jeff Dillon was actually about a 10th quicker, so it could even be this early on that the tides are starting to shift. Those cars behind are starting to close in. This track is so old, so abrasive. It will really tear up these tires. Larry Mack always used to put a cheese grater to the tires and be like, that's basically what you're doing when you're driving around this racetrack.
And Shane Cochran still 1.18 seconds away from your leader. I mean, those guys are pretty equal right now. I mean, they're all within, what, maybe, a tenth of each other?
Yeah, that last time by, everybody within 1/10 of each other. Shane Cochran putting up some pretty quick laps there in 4th, but track position is not working out in his favor with less than 20 laps to go.
20 laps to go here. There's the man of the stage so far, Kevin Bankert, who is currently leading this piece. Jeff Dillon closing in. It's 0.8 of a second. That's the advantage.
Well, we have a moment here. See if we can bring in our stage 1 winner, Jake Rowell. How we doing?
Hello, boys. How's it going?
Cool,
Hello?
good.
Oh.
We're here.
Sorry, I had to sneeze there. Very poor timing for it. Oh, Banker gets up into the wall a little bit. But Jake, you drove away from the get-go. Able to just drive away with your stage. What's it like out there
Absolutely.
with this extra power, this extra weight? What kind of challenges did it throw your way?
Honestly, I don't really think I could tell a difference with the added horsepower because the added weight, so it obviously just nullifies one another. I mean, it was typical old Atlanta. Just wrap the bottom like Kevin Harvick used to do, paint that white line, and just super easy on the throttle and basically driving like there's a grape underneath it. And I mean, I just started kind of pulling away, and about 10-15 laps in, I just kind of let the wick get on fire, and away I went. So
You had that 39 machine looking pretty stout. What are you looking forward to for tonight's race?
yeah, just looking forward to having a good time. Obviously, every other weekend, Sunday night, you know, it's a points race, so you're a little more cautious and things like that. And I feel like this one could be a little spicy from everybody, just knowing there's really nothing to lose outside of bragging rights, right? So it should be a lot of fun. You know, it was nice to just win stage 1, get that over with, and kind of relax as opposed to having to sweat it out and worry, you know, about winning stage 2 or the final stage. So we'll just go into this with an open mind and see what happens, really.
Well, who do you want to thank for getting you into the All-Star race? Who helps you keep that 39 so quick?
Yeah, just everybody at the team at Rowell Smith Racing. I believe tonight it's only going to be Brian and Jacob and then myself, but obviously Matt Everett and Mike Taylor as well. I mean, we just always work well as a team, so I'm sure if this thing goes green, Brian, Jacob, and I have been on iRacing a long, long time altogether, so we typically have good strategy with stuff and kind of use one of us as a pawn, if you will, pit a little early, things like that. So we'll see. That's for sure.
Well, just as you were thinking, sponsors, we have Iracing. Jeff Dillon gets right around Kevin Banker. Kevin Banker gets a little squirrely, has to back out of the throttle, and Jeff Dillon just put on the afterburners. And well,
Appreciate you, Jake. Best of luck tonight.
I appreciate it, guys. Enjoy the rest of this final stage.
And like Alan had mentioned there, new leader, Jeff Dillon.
Oh, no! That
Kevin
car is not
Baker.
happy.
Yeah, no, he's got a big problem. Now Mike Grinnell moves into second place. Shane Cochran a couple of seconds back. See if that 55 can start closing in on Jeff Dillon in these final 12 laps. It's 1.2 seconds. He's going to have to gain about a tenth per lap to get there.
Definitely is Jeff Dillon continues to lead us 1.16 back to Grinnell. And Shane Cochran is really off the pace right now as he's 3 seconds back from the leader.
Yeah, just continuing to fall back as Jeff Dillon continues to drive away.
Jeff Dillon trying to drive the thing into the All-Star as he drives away. I dare I say it, put the keys on the counter himself. He's all but checked out.
Well, it's about a 1 second gap, 1.1 here with 10 to go. Grinnell's starting to get a bit of a run. Kevin Bankert's gotten into the wall. He's going to pull it into the pits.
Oh no. That's going to end his night there. Shane Cochran, 4 seconds back. Right now, the closest competition to Jeff Dillon is Mike Ronell with 1.2 seconds.
At 1.3, the gap's starting to increase now with 9 laps to go. Jeff Dillon's just got to try to keep it smooth here, not make any big mistakes. And he is going to punch the final ticket into the All-Star race.
Never say never. I haven't started singing yet.
Got 8 laps to go here for car number 52. He's got no pressure coming from behind. Just got to work through these bumps. Keep the car straight. Keep it underneath you.
Jeff Dillon out for a Sunday drive. So far with a 1.6 second lead. Second half over Jeff Dillon. Yeah, back from Jeff Dillon rather. That's the interval. That's the gap.
It looked like Dillon got a little bit looser coming up off of the corner. That allows Grinnell to close in just a little bit. And those are those moments that you really can't afford to have. Especially at a track like this. You overheat your right rear tire. Those slides aren't going to stop.
Definitely 6 laps left to go. As we are approaching the end of this one. Jeff Dillon coming around the back straightaway. Next time by will be 5 laps to go. 5 phalanges will be in the air. That's what awaits Jeff Dillon.
Oh man, he's getting a little bit loose there coming up off of Ford. You want to be careful with that. 5 more laps. Last time around, Grinnell was about 2/10 quicker than Jeff Dillon. Grinnell not giving up quite yet.
Right now, if you're Kevin Bankert, Shane Cochran, and Mike Ronell stands running out of the hourglass as he is almost 2 seconds behind, or 1.2 seconds behind Jeff Dillon. It's going to be a long night if you got to rely on that randomizer wheel.
About 1.1 seconds is the gap with 4 laps to go. Dillon, pretty strong on exit. Hasn't had any slides in the last lap and a half. And that's really what does him in, is those, getting loose coming up off of the corner or having to let up off the throttle to keep it out of the fence. He's doing a really good job of putting that car right where it needs to here with 3 laps to go. 1.2 seconds, that's all he needs.
Yeah, definitely here coming down the, back straightaway. 3 laps to go. He is starting to pull away. Shane Cochran puts it on pit road. He might be done for the night. It might be a 2-horse race.
Yeah, I think Shane is going to be done. He's third car in a race where only one guy's going to be able to make it. Bankert's back out onto the racetrack, but he's a ton of laps down. 2 more times around for Jeff Dillon, and he's starting to put a little bit more gap on that car behind.
The popsicle sticks in the air right now. Shane Cochran will have to rely on the randomizer wheel along with Kevin Bankert. White flag.
One more time around in the Icon All-Star Open. It has been a phenomenal show. It's been a lot of good racing. Old Atlanta provides that, but this was a very, very small sample size. What we're going to see here in the next race is going to be some awesome wheel-to-wheel, nose-to-nose action. Probably see one of those classic Atlanta finishes. But for right now, Jeff Dillon gonna get it done. win the All-Star Open and punch his ticket into the All-Star race.
Mike Grinnell, Shane Cochran, Kevin Bankert will all rely on the randomizer wheel to try one more time to get in to the All-Star Open. Congratulations to Bissonette, Roel, and Jeff Dillon on making the All-Star race. Liam, if this is any indication of what we're going to see here a little bit later on tonight, I'm excited.
Yeah, you and me both. It's going to be a great show. We'll go ahead and show you guys the results for the Open. Jeff Dillon wins stage number 3. Also advancing with the stage 1 win, Jake Roel and Justin Bissonette with the stage 2 win. We're going to go ahead and step aside here, take a little bit of a break, and we'll come back in a few with the All-Star race, the main event.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. All right, guys. Still got about a half an hour before the All-Star race starts. Maybe about an hour. So we're going to go ahead and step aside from this stream, and we'll get another one started when it is race time. However, before we go, Kevin Baker, car number 8, won the wheel spin. He will be in the All-Star race. Yeah, so we'll be back in about a half an hour, and